So let me take you through this setup. I have got the amazing Chloe in this fairly timeless background, so she's dressed in a similar fashion with some similar props. The lighting for this is actually two lights. The first one is up here. It is a Flashpoint XPLOR400 Pro. It's an A24 36-inch softbox with a grid. And the second light is just the natural daylight, and I'm blending the two together to create this image. But of course it didn't start like this, so let's rewind and break it down. To help me out today, I've got the amazing Chloe. Chloe's going to be the model for this location shoot, and this is actually the first location shoot I've done this year. So my thinking is keep it reasonably simple. Now outside it is really bright, so we found this little undercover area where we can deal with the ambient light a little bit better, and I'll talk about that in a second. But basically I thought this looks like my studio but outside, and that's how I'm going to treat it. But the first thing we actually need to do is, well, tidy away the modern stuff so we can get to the more timeless background. So that's where we're going to begin. Because we're outside on location and we got quite a lot of light here, I could actually just use the ambient light. Maybe that's exactly the right look for the lighting that I'm going for. Spoiler alert, it's not, but let's just see what we get. Because if I use the ambient only light and I take a quick little test photo, I'm getting a perfectly okay picture of Chloe. But what it lacks is any direction or definition to the light. So that's where my own light is going to come in handy. Now, if I was in the studio, at this point what I'd be doing is switching to manual mode and doing the whole no flash, no picture thing. And it's sort of the same on location with a small twist. I'm still going to be in manual mode. I'm going to use some default settings, 250th of a second, my flash sync speed, f5.6, ISO 200. But if I take a picture at those settings in this light, here's what I'm getting. Well, basically no flash, no picture. However, there's a lot of light out here and I can use it as free fill flash or fill light. So to get there, all I need to do is to change my aperture to f2.8. Now that's going to open up the aperture, let more light in, and at the same settings, f2.8 gets me about 2 stops underexposed. So you can think of this as the fill light that's lighting the shadows, but it's still got room for me to add my own light to lift the shadows and add some contrast with flash. Being on location, I'm using a different light stand to the sort of thing I would use it in the studio, and I want to think a little bit carefully about it. There is a slight breeze blowing through here. I don't want this to fall over. So I've got a light stand where I've spread the legs out as wide as they will go to give me maximum stability. I've put the weight of the softbox directly in front of one of the legs, and most usefully, it's the hardest thing to bring on location, but ultimately the safest way to use your lights on location. A sandbag to keep everything a little bit more upright and stable. However, I've got to put it back over there now. For the flash, I'm using the Flashpoint XPLOR400. It's a 400 watt second flash. It's my go-to flash for location work, and it's more than up to the job for working in this kind of lighting conditions. The softbox, I'm using the Easy Lock 2436 softbox from Glow. It's a rectangular softbox and I'm using it for a couple of reasons. It folds really small, it's really light, but mostly I'm using it on location because it's really good value for money. So if I do accidentally trash it on location, it won't be the end of the world. A lot of the equipment I'm using out on location is the same stuff as I use in the studio. So that includes the transmitter for the flash, but also my flash meter. And the way I'm going to work this is I know what my settings are. I want my flash to give me exactly the same results. So I could do this by trial and error, but Chloe, I'm going to pop this near your chin. But what I'm looking for is this flash to tell me f2.8 when the light reaches Chloe, which it does right there at 1/64th power. I told you this was a powerful flash. How does this look? Let's take a test photo and find out. Already this looks better. You can see a little bit of light in the top left corner as we look at this picture. There's a little bit of shadow behind Chloe, not too much. I think that's pretty good, and it's definitely an improvement over the ambient light. I've added a grid to the softbox because I want a little bit more direction to the light. It was fine as it was before, but I think this might just give me just a little bit more interest to the pictures. I'm not sure, and the only way to find out is to test it. Of course, it's going to change the exposure. So Chloe, I'm going to pop this near your chin. And yeah, I lost about a stop doing that, so I can adjust my flash to match. And with the grid, it looks like this. And I think I'm happier with that as a final look. In fact, I think we should probably take a few photos like this. So Chloe, are you ready? Okay, here we go. As the shoot went on, I realized I needed a bit more depth of field, so I closed my aperture down by 1 stop to f4, and to balance the exposure back up, I increased my ISO by 1 stop to 400. Obviously the theme for this is all vintage styling, so we've got this old, rather battered travelling case, but also we've got a bicycle, which isn't old, but it is a little bit vintage in its styling, and that's kind of the main thing really, and a few other props for Chloe to play with, and it's all about the props with this. This gives something for Chloe to work with, also tells a bit of a story, all inside of the same little location. Even though I'm treating this like a studio session, there's some real advantages to being on location. For example, the floor. There's no way I could get this floor in the studio, and I really like the subtlety of just its realism. It's not clean, it's not perfect. I'm going to include lots of that in my photos. Considering the location for today was somewhat dictated by the really harsh sunlight, I think we've done pretty well for our first location session of the year. Now, if you want to find out more about the gear I'm using, check out the video links in the description down below. Whilst you're there, give it a thumbs up, and of course, if you haven't already done so, click on that subscribe button. And if you want to see how you could actually do portraits in full sun, not in the shade, then why not check out this video where I cover that in detail. I'm Gavin Hoey, thanks for watching.